Here we are, I-95, getting off an exit before the exit I usually get off before I go to a Phillies game. And I figured, you know, there's not many games left, and maybe for next season or for the playoffs, if some of you people are coming in to Philadelphia, I can show you some things to do before a Phillies game. One thing you could do is wash your windows. That's what I would recommend. Here we are, Washington Ave and Delaware Ave. Some people call this, here we are, let's go Phillies, right? Some people call this Columbus Boulevard, but they're assholes. It's Delaware Ave. If you go down this way in Delaware Ave 2 miles or so, there's a beautiful place called Penn's Landing. I have made several videos about Penn's Landing. You can check them out. Maybe I'll have this video end with a Penn's Landing video popping up at the end. Lots of history there. Lots of history across the street. Let's check out old Swedes Church. And the building we are looking at is the old Swedes Church, built in 1677. Old Swedes is the oldest church building in the state of Pennsylvania. First group of people to go to church here were Swedish Lutheran colonists who came to the New Sweden in 1643. And Philadelphia was the New Sweden. Or Pennsylvania was the New Sweden. Cool info about that church steeple. That is the very first building William Penn ever saw when he came to Pennsylvania. William Penn is the founder of Pennsylvania, for those of you who don't know. And there is, you know, it's a cool cemetery here. And there's a dog park over there. But even the buildings associated with the church, they're old buildings too. A little bit of history here in South Philadelphia. Right there is old Swedes Church. We're back on Washington Ave. And if you go down 2 blocks, you will be at the Mummers Museum. The Mummers Museum is a free museum. Just give them a good donation. You go in, you can check out the old props and costumes from Philadelphia's annual New Year's Day tradition. And by the end of the museum, you will be doing the Mummer Strut. But you don't have to. They teach you how to. And you can also try on outfits. And, yeah, it takes you about an hour to explore. Highly recommend. You can walk down Washington Ave, and if you look, you'll see this blue brick street. And the story is, with these blue bricks, the buildings, the blue bricks were part of the centennial, the Centennial of America in 1876. So they built all these buildings to be part of like a World's Fair type event. After the Centennial was over, they knocked down all the blue brick buildings and they actually paved the streets of Philadelphia in them. So across the street at 2nd and Washington, there's a mural by one of Philadelphia's most prominent mural artists. Here's another mural. There's a lot of murals in this part of South Philly. If you walk in this direction, look at this. Oh, a little mural to the Mummers. The Mummers is an annual tradition. It's a parade in Philadelphia. It's been going on for over 100 years. It is tradition to get your work boots that you worked in for the year or the sneakers you wore. And what you do is you spray paint them gold. And you walk down the street in golden slippers. This is Snyder Ave, and across the street is John's Roast Pork. John's Roast Pork makes roast pork sandwiches, but they also make the greatest cheesesteak in the city of Philadelphia. Established in 1930, it was more of a roast pork spot until about the 70s. And then in the 70s, the son of the original owner started perfecting the cheesesteak, and he spent about 17 years, and now he has one of the best cheesesteaks. Oh no, it is the best cheesesteak in the world. So their hours are 10 to 5. Tuesday through Saturday, and sometimes they sell out of rolls, so sometimes you gotta get here before 5. That's my suggestion. Now here's the thing about John's Roast Pork. They cook all their meat fresh, each individual order. So sometimes it can take a little bit of time to get your cheesesteak. So worth it. So worth it. It's the street from John's Roast Pork. If you don't like cheesesteaks, they got an IHOP. They also have a Chuck E. Cheese down here. You couldn't pay me to go to this Chuck E. Cheese. I remember when my kids were kids, and they wanted to get when they would get invited to this Chuck E. Cheese. I wouldn't go. I was, oh, no, we got to go do the thing. I don't know what it is, but we're going to do that instead of going here. I am at the intersection of Rittner and Swanson, and if you are a wrestling fan, you know this building as the ECW Arena. It's now called the 2300 Arena. They still have wrestling events. They still have boxing matches. I think during Eagles games, the bar right down here, the Blue Meanie makes an appearance during Eagles games, so that's cool. And yeah, this is it, the 2300 Arena. One night I was here, and it was after a wrestling match, and we saw Sabu leaving, and that grate was kind of down, and we were like, yo, Sabu, give us some autographs. He goes, nah, I'm going to go smoke weed. And he turned around and he banged his head right into that grate. And everybody just started chanting, you fucked up, you fucked up. And, God, I love that place. And, you know, sometimes they have wrestling events in here. And they always try to feel like an ECW event. Or they want to try to feel like an ECW event. And it's never the same. You can't. Paul Heyman said it best, you can't go back. But there it is, the ECW Arena. And it's right down the street from John's Roast Pork. So get a cheesesteak and eat it on the back of your car right here. This is the SS United States. It's a retired ocean liner that was built between 1950 and 1951. The United States line cost about $79 million to make. This ship is the largest ocean liner constructed entirely in the United States and is the fastest ocean liner to cross the Atlantic in either direction. I heard a story that the people who own it stopped paying rent on the dock like a year and a half ago. So I don't know what's going to happen to that boat. It's been there for years. And it's pretty neat to look at. You can't really get much access to it. You can see those people across the street. They're taking a picture with the boat, but you can't. That's as close as you can really get. You could also, there is an IKEA, and there's several restaurants right here on Delaware Ave. You got Wendy's, Chick-fil-A. There's actual restaurants too. I know I seemed uncultured saying Chick-fil-A. I guess IKEA would be a restaurant. You can get food at IKEA. It's not that great. Oh, one more TV location. And this is a little TV history right here. Parking wars. Remember when all those people would get their cars towed by the evil city, and they would come here and argue with people for hours on end, and they would need to show proof of insurance, and they would have mental breakdowns? All of that happened right here. The parking authority. Evil, 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 evil. That's all. I'm back on Ori and Ave, and another cheesesteak spot you might want to check out is Ori and Nix. Good cheesesteak, and they do more than cheesesteaks. They got a nice roast pork sandwich. If you can, don't get gas at this gas station. It's way expensive. Another thing you could do before you come to a Phillies game, if you come to South Philly, you can come to FDR Park, and today they're doing free canoe rides. All you have to do is show up, and you get to ride a canoe or a kayak out here on the lakes. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for the newest baseball field in the Philadelphia area, named after Dick Allen. I've never seen a puddle full of plovers. It's really And here we are. This is it. The new Dick Allen Field here at FDR Park. John Middleton, Dick Allen, and his family, they were all here earlier this week, and I think they had a presentation where they announced the name of the field, which you see right there on the scoreboard. Not a bad field. You got bleachers. There's a, I guess they sit here and do the PA announcing. College baseball teams play here. There's a league that they have for inner city kids called the RBI League. They play here. It's a really, really nice field. You can't just play on here, though. You have to play on a team. You can't, like, just do a pickup game. But it is pretty cool. 400. They have MLB dimensions for the home run fence. The Dick Allen Field. Look at this. The RBI Baseball League is sponsored by Richmond's Ice Cream, a.k.a. Philadelphia Water Ice, and Nike. But more importantly, Philadelphia Water Ice.